All right, so we're going to do the study guide. We're on problem number 7. We did part of problem number 7 yesterday um, with my fifth period, but sixth period finished it completely. Okay. All right. So number 7 says David recorded this table. How far does he throw the ball? Okay. Of different weights. This is my X. This is my Y. Okay. My Y, the distance is dependent on the weight of the ball. Okay. It looks as though the uh, the as the weight of the ball increases, the distance decrease, and that makes sense. The heavier it is, the harder it is to throw it further. Okay, so it's asking. He modeled the data set in a linear best fit function. So it's asking for the line of best fit. Okay, and the best way to do a line of best fit is in the calculator. Okay, approximately, so about, we're estimating how far should he expect to throw the ball that weighs 12 pounds. Okay, the weight of the ball is X. So they have given you the value of X and want you to find the value of Y. And the most accurate way to do that is in your calculator. This is calculator active. So we go to stat to type the numbers or in the calculator, type them in a table, press enter on edit, and now you're going to type your L1 values, your X values in L1, and your Y values in L2. Okay. So here we have 1, 3, 5, 10. And then we have 74, 57, and 42. And I'm pressing 44, sorry, and 25. I'm pressing the enter button to go to the next line, or I can press the down button to go to the next line. After I type my numbers in, I go to stat. Stat is right here. Then I go over to calculate, arrow over to calculate, and I go down to lean reg, where my equation is set up like this, where A is going to be my slope, my M, and B is going to be my B, my y-intercept. So I press number 4, and I'm going to press second 1, comma, second 2, comma. I'm telling the calculator where to get the numbers, the ordered pairs. Comma, vars is right here beside clear. I'm going to go over to y vars, and I'm going to press enter 3 times. Enter on function, enter on y1, that's where I want my equation to go. And then I'm going to press enter one more time. So my equation is going to be in under y equals, okay? I'm doing that so that I can use the calculator to look at the table values. So I'm going to go to second graph to look at my table values, and I'm going to go down to 12. Okay, so when I go down to 12, that tells me about what my y value is when x is 12. So when x is 12, my y value is 11.9 and some change. Okay, so that is about 12. So my answer is about 12 feet. Okay. All right, number 8. Jason has a gym membership. The expression is 5x plus 20 represents the total amount of money. So 5x plus 20 represents the total amount of money in dollars. Jason has paid a gym membership after X months. What does the coefficient of the X term represent? Okay, the coefficient is the number in front of X. So what does that 5 represent? The X represents the number of months. And we're multiplying 5 times the number of months. So that means you're paying $5 every month. So that's what the 5, that's what that X term is. It's the total cost of membership? No. Okay. It's the flat fee? No. The flat fee is 20. That's your constant. That's what you automatically have to pay. Okay. That's your starting amount or your y-intercept. The monthly cost of membership. Yes, it is. 5 is the monthly cost of membership. The last one says the number of months he paid for the membership. Okay, so it's asking for the coefficient, not X itself, which is the number of months, but the 5, the coefficient, the number that's in front of the X. So that's why C is the best answer. which is the graph. So I'm going to write this equation in slope-intercept form for number 9. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. That's how you graph linear equations. It have to be written in that form first. So now I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. This is gone. I'm left with 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 8. I'm bringing them both down because they're not like terms, okay? Now, in order to get y by itself, I'm going to divide everything by a negative 2. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. So this is 1y is equal to, a negative divided by negative is a positive, okay? A negative divided by negative is a positive. Simplify, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So this is the equation that I use to graph. I label my m, rise over run. It's already a fraction. This is my rise, this is my run. My b, or my y-intercept, is a positive 4, okay? So when I graph, the graph that I'm looking for, my y-intercept is 4, this is 4, my slope is a positive number. So already A is not the right answer. The line is going the wrong direction. Okay, let's look at B. It starts at 4. This is my y-intercept, and I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2. Yay! Okay, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. Here we go. B works. B is the correct answer there. Let's look at the other answer choices. C is not the correct answer. It's going the wrong direction. And then D is not the correct answer because it's starting in the wrong place. Okay? So those are your answers there. B is your best answer. The function of f of x is equal to 2.5x models the amount of water in quarts in the bucket x seconds. Sally needs to fill a 55-quart bucket, which is most appropriate for the domain, okay? Domain is going to be your x value. So you have to think in this equation, what are all of your possible x values? Okay, this equation represents the amount of water in quarts in the bucket after x seconds. So the x represents the seconds. Okay, you can't have negative seconds, right? But you can start from 0 on up, okay, with seconds. So for this, it's going to be 0 on up. So the x can be greater than or equal to 0. It can't be under 0, can't be less than 0, but it can be greater than 0. So this is the best answer here. We got 22 seconds. We start at 22 seconds, or it has to be less than no. It has be between 0 and 22 seconds. Let's see. Does it say anything about 22 seconds? It says after X seconds to fill a 55-quart bucket. Okay, look. It's 55. So let me go and look. Let me use my calculator because I just thought about it in my head. It can't go over 55 quarts, right? So let's go to y equals, clear the equation that's there, and I'm gonna type in because it can't go over 55. I'm tripping there. So let's go 2.5 x. It can't go over 55, right? So let's look at the table. So far at 0, of course, is good. Start at 0. Can't have negative seconds, so we start here. And then we go up to see when is it 55 quart. All right here, 22. So it's right. It can only be between 0 and 22. 0 and 22. Put x in the middle. Less than, equal to, less than, equal to. Okay? And this is how you say it's between. Less than, equal to, less than, equal to. It's between 0 and 22. So that's really what we're looking for is C. All right. See how easy it is to get the wrong answer, y'all? That's why it's good to go through all the answer choices to find the best answer choice. Because where this part, it wasn't wrong, but it's not 100% the correct answer. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next one. It says Pablo had $1.25 in change. Okay? The change is made up of nickels and dimes. Of course, a nickel is worth 5 cents, a dime is going to be worth 10 cents. So this is how you write 5 cent here, move up a little bit. 5 cent here, 0.05, or 5 hundredths and 0.10, or just 0.1, and that's 1/10. Okay. All right. So the graph shows the possible numbers of nickels and dimes that Pablo had. All right. So this is the number of dimes here. I'm sorry, nickels here, dimes here. Okay. All right. Which is the appropriate domain for this function? So the domain is talking about your x values. So your x values from it looks like 1 right here. You see? Looks like the middle, it's going up by 2. So in the middle here is 1. So it's going from 1 here all the way to, looks like 25. Okay? So it looks like it's going from 1 to 25. All right, so we got your domain. We got 1, okay? So it's between these two. And then the next number is 3, okay? So you see 3, then 5, and then see it's in all the way down the middle. So this is the better answer here. D is the better answer there. Okay. Those are all of your domain values. Those are your x values. Your x value for this point is 1. Your x value for this point is 3. Your x value for this point is 5. Your x value for this point is going to be 7, so on and so forth. You see, I'm looking at the x values for all of these points, and these are the x values for those points. So that's going to be the appropriate domain, okay, for that graph. The graph below models the cost of peanuts at the grocery store, where Y is the total cost of peanuts, and X is the weight. So this is my X, the weight. Y is the total cost. Your total cost is dependent on the weight, okay? All right, so it weighs per pound, right? All right, what's the best domain for the function? Okay, domain is the weight. You can't have a negative weight. It goes from 0 on up. And you see how this is an arrow? Look, this arrow is continuing forever. So your weight can go on forever in this particular function. You can buy as much as you want here. Okay, pause. All right, so here your weight is X, your cost is Y. So the best function is going to be where your weight starts at 0 and it continues on forever, because that arrow there continues on forever. So this says that X is greater than or equal to 0. This is a good answer. This is saying that your X or your weight is between 0 and 30. And I just said that since there's an arrow there, that means that your weight can go on forever. So if it stopped there, like if it was a point right there and it stopped, you cannot weigh no more than 30, then this will be the answer. But it's an arrow that's continuing, so B is not the answer. None of these are the answers because they have ranges. This is 105, this is 10. It doesn't say that you have to stop at 105 pounds. So your best answer there is A. It says, suppose that the height of the candle in inches can be modeled by, and it can be modeled by this equation here, which is f of x or y is equal to, I don't know what that says. I think that's 5. Negative 5 over 3 x plus 10.5, okay? Where x is the number of hours of the candle, the candle has been burned. So this is the hours that the candle has been burned. Which statement best represents the slope of the function? So this is saying negative 5. So remember, your m is your y over your x. Your x in this problem represents the hours. Your y in this problem is the height of the candle. So it's the height of the candle per hour. So since it's negative 5, it's going down in height because the candle is burning. So it's burning negative 5 inches because it's negative 5 inches. So it's burning that, and I say burning because that's a minus, negative 5 inches per hour. per 1 hour or per 3 hours, because this is a 3 hour. Okay. If I want to figure out what that decimal is, it's per hour. I can divide -5. -5 divided by 3 is 1 is -1.6 repeating inches per hour. So it's one of these two answers, okay? It's one of these two answers. So we got to read and figure out which one it is. All right, so it says the candle burns at a rate of 3 inches every 5 hours. It's not, it's 5 inches. That's not right. The candle burns 5 inches every 3 hours. This is a good answer. The candle is burning at a height, and it's talking about the slope now. So it's not asking for the starting height because it's asking for the slope. So this is not a good answer either. And this is saying 5 inches tall after three. No, that is implying that the candle is growing when you burn it. Absolutely not. B is the best answer there. Okay. Tracy is tracking her spending for the month. She determines that her spending can be modeled by this function. S of D or Y is equal to 7 over 4D plus 11. Okay. Where D is the day of the month. So D represents the day of the month. Okay. And what else? Which statement is true about this function? So we got to figure out which one is true. All right. So spends $11 every 1.75 days. Let's reduce that and see. Okay. So let's see what the slope is by writing the decimal. So we got 7 divided by 4. So that's $1.75 per day. Per 1 day. Okay. Because remember, your Y here is, let's see, it can be modeled where D is the day. So 1 day on the bottom. Days, X is on the bottom, that's days. And let's see, determines the spending. So this is the total spending. So we got, this is the total spending per day. All right. And you automatically started with $11. Okay. So this is not it. Tracy spends $1.75 every 11 days. No. Okay. Not every 11 days. 11 is the starting amount. Tracy spends $7, okay, every 4 days. This is what this means. I did it per day, but if you're looking at 7 being on top and 4 being on bottom, this is days on the bottom. This is the amount of money. So $7 for 4 days. Okay, so this is a good answer here. And this is saying $4 every 7 days. No. Y is on the top, that's the total. X is on the bottom, that's the number of days. So C is the best answer. Remember with slope, we have Y over X. The Y is on the top, the X is on the bottom. So the meaning of Y is on the top, the meaning of X is on the bottom. Okay? All right. I'm going to do the other problems. Please make sure that you study. I'm going to do the other problems later in another video so that I don't overwhelm you. If you have questions, please just let me know, okay? All right. Have a good one.